Let's take a couple of moments and we'll walk through the System Settings menu on Pioneer's AVH-290BT. So with any of the sources turned on, we're on the AM/FM radio now, I'm going to touch the gears up here, and I want to go to the toolbox. This is our System Settings. And let's start off with the AV Source Settings. Under AV Source Settings, we have the radio settings, and you can get a full explanation about the AM/FM radio. Check out the AM/FM radio video. In radio settings, we have the local level here, where we can switch that on or off, level 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we'll go back up, and we also have Bluetooth audio. Right now, Bluetooth audio is switched on, but if I use Bluetooth audio all the time, so I want Bluetooth audio switched on. But if it ever disappears from your menu list, take a look here in the AV Source Settings, because I just switched it off, and now if I use my drop-down menu, I have no Bluetooth audio available there, and if I touch the home button, you'll see that Bluetooth audio is grayed out. That's because in the system menu here under AV Source Settings, we have Bluetooth audio turned off. We'll switch it back on, and those things will be available for us now. You can see Bluetooth audio is ready to go now. So let's go back to our system menu here. Next up is Everscroll, and Everscroll we can switch on or off, and this means the text will continuously scroll across your screen from MP3 files or radio stations or something like that that has long file names that can't be fully displayed. So Everscroll you can switch on or off right here. Next up is the auxiliary input, and just like the Bluetooth settings, we can switch auxiliary input on or off. I'm going to switch auxiliary input off for right now, and we'll go out to the source list here. You can see no auxiliary input. It doesn't work. We'll go back in here and switch auxiliary input on, and you can see auxiliary input now works. So we'll go back to the gears here. Next up is our camera settings, and for a full explanation about the backup camera input and the optional backup camera, be sure to check out the camera settings video. We'll take a quick look at this where we can set up the backup camera input and what polarity we'll switch the backup camera input on. We'll go back up here, and we have our system language here. Right now is set to English. We have a number of different languages to choose from. Make sure that you can read that language before you choose any of those languages. I'm going to choose English for right now and go back up. Now let's scroll down. Next up we have Restore Settings, but it's kind of grayed out there. And then Touch Panel is grayed out and Picture Adjustment all grayed out. We'll get back to those in just a moment. Beep Tone we can switch on or off. So right now the beep tone means that when I touch a button on the screen, it beeps to confirm that I've touched that button. You can hear that beep. If you don't want to hear that beep, switch the beep tone off, and now when you touch buttons, can't hear the beep tone. I like to hear that beep tone. It confirms that I've touched the screen, and the system knows that, so I'm going to leave it on for right now. Let's check out the dimmer settings here. You can get a full explanation of the dimmer settings on the dimmer settings video, but this is where we can change the trigger from working on the car's headlights. It can also work manually where you can switch it on or off, and it can work based on the time of day. Check out the full dimmer video if you want to get a full explanation on the dimmer settings. We'll go back up. And now, Restore Settings, Touch Panel, and Picture Adjustment are all grayed out because we need to engage the parking brake to see those. Okay, I've engaged the parking brake, and under Restore Settings, I can switch the system back to the factory settings if I want to by touching the Restore button here. So if you've got your system and you have maybe goofed up one thing or another, you want to change it, set it back to this factory settings, just touch the Restore button here. We won't do that. We'll skip it right now. Next up is our touch panel calibration, and we'll open that window. The screen is adjusted at the factory before the product is shipped. But if you would like to do a screen calibration, you're welcome to do that. If you do a screen calibration and you're the driver of the vehicle, I recommend sitting in the driver's seat where you tend to operate the vehicle before you do the touch panel calibration. Now I'm going to go back here, and we'll go to Picture Adjustment. And here we can see the picture adjustment for the AV source screen, and we can see the picture adjustment for the rear view camera. And for a full explanation on the picture adjustment, be sure to check out the camera settings video. We'll go back up, and when you're done making your adjustments here, you can hit the X to escape.